Hi, this is Champlet 2 on the PlayStation Network. So you're just starting out as a new player in GTA? There's a huge, exciting world of criminal activity waiting for you in Los Santos and Blaine County. This video will give you some useful strategies to make lots of money and to earn rank quickly and legitimately so you can start your criminal enterprise off right. Now let's get started. Now here's just a little friendly tip for new players starting out. I know it's really exciting to think about going into a public room with a whole bunch of other players and mixing it up with them, but when you're first starting out, you've got no money, you've got very little ammo, you've got no armor, you've got no good vehicles to get away from people. You're pretty much a sitting duck. And as you can see in this random public room, people are getting killed left and right. Now you can go in there if you want to, but chances are you're just going to get killed a lot, and seriously, how much fun is that? You might as well just start out in an invite-only room, make yourself some money, build up your rank, and then you'll be able to defend yourself in a public room later. An easy way to make some money for a brand new player in GTA is to rob the stores. There's 20 of them. They're all over the map. You can see the little icons here. If you have successfully robbed the store, you'll see a little green check mark on it like you do on my screen. So you choose which store you want to rob and then go check it out. It's helpful to make a plan ahead of time to know where you want to go because you're going to have to escape the cops once you've robbed the store. This one I happen to already have an idea where I'm going to go. And I also found a nice quick getaway vehicle because here sits a nice fast Body 801 motorcycle. So I'm just going to borrow that. And as you arrive to the store, check around and see who's hanging around outside or inside, because the bystanders just might pull a gun and help defend the clerk inside when you rob the store. They'll try to shoot you. So just pay attention to who's hanging around when you go in. And remember, you don't really have a whole lot of ammo and weapons when you first get started, so don't get caught without any. Make sure you've got as much as you can carry when you come in. So I'm just shooting randomly around him. I don't want to shoot him because then I get a much higher wanted level and it's just a much bigger ordeal. But I'm shooting around him to try to make him go a little bit faster. And unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot of bullets on hand in this gun. So I'm not shooting very fast and he's not giving me money very fast. But there's my $1,736 from the first register. Now that he's given me that, I can shoot up this second register and go take the money from it too. So there you see it is. Wow, I'm hung up on something there. Here's another $52. So I got a total of $1,788. And I have a 2-star wanted level, but unfortunately the cops have caught up to me. So I'm going to jump on this bike and get out of here as quick as I can before they, almost killed me. I'm a good 3/4 dead there. But this is what I meant earlier about having your escape route planned. You can either go up on a hillside away from the roads and the cops won't catch you because you only have a 2-star wanted level, or you can find a nice place to hide where they're likely not to see you. If you happen to be in the Davis area, here's a fantastic place to hide from the cops. Just follow this train track down here into the tunnel and go all the way back to where the two tunnels merge. If you're back here, they cannot see you. They will not follow you into the train tunnel. So you can lose that 2-star wanted level. That'll get you 200 RP for losing a 2-star wanted level, and RP helps a lot to increase your rank so you can be eligible to buy more weapons and armor. And now I can go rob any other store I want to. I just can't go back and rob the same store again for a little while. There is a cooldown period. Now here's a really easy way to make some money, but you're not going to get rich doing this. This is just something you can do on the side to pick up a few extra bucks. You'll notice there's ATMs all around the city. This is one of my favorites for this. It's at the Lombank executive office. You see the guy standing there at the ATM? You just got to make sure you don't get up too close to him and spook him. You want to stay back until he gets done withdrawing money at the ATM. Now you can knock out people and take their money, but you might only get 10, 20, or 30 bucks when you do that. If you get somebody who's just left the ATM, you might get a lot more money. You could get just a little bit, but sometimes you can get as much as 300 bucks. And, you know, for just a few seconds of work, it's worth it. So there I just got $135 from him. And I'll have to outrun the wanted level, but that's no big deal. It's just 1 star. Now here's another place I really like. There's almost always somebody at this ATM when you come by. It's on Spanish Avenue, which is not too far from the Pacific Standard Bank, if you know where that is. And there's an ammunition just down the road. So again, you just wait here until this guy's done withdrawing cash and don't spook him. And while we're on the subject, do remember anytime you're doing pretty much anything in the game, if a random character in the game gets killed, they're probably going to drop cash. So always take every opportunity you get to pick that money up. So I'll just take this guy out, and there's 188 bucks, just in a matter of seconds. Another good tip is to remember to keep stealing vehicles off the street. Eventually you'll get a bounty for doing that. If you're in a room by yourself or with friends who don't take it from you, that's your money to keep. You can earn up to $9,000 for that. Daily objectives are updated every 24 hours. Some of them are a lot harder and take a lot more time, but if you get lucky and get 3 easy ones, they're worth doing because you can earn $25,000 for completing them in a day. You can see here my 3 are pretty easy. I can do all these by myself except for collecting a bounty, and as luck would have it, I do have somebody in the room who would let me do that. You don't have to do your daily objectives in any particular order, but I decided to do the sea race first. And we'll talk a little later in the video about races and how you can make good money doing that. But you know, sometimes you might have just chosen to do something and get a message that pops up that says you completed a daily objective. That's a good time to look at your list and see what else needs to be done. Maybe you can complete it. But as you see here, it only took me about 2 minutes to finish that race, and I made $1,200, so that alone was a good reason to do it. And remember, anytime you're doing a contact mission or a race, always be sure to either like or dislike it. You get 50 RP points for that. And you'll see here after I get out and spawn back in when that's complete, I'll get a little message there on the left that says objective complete, participate in a sea race. That's what I was mentioning earlier. Sometimes you might see that pop up and you completed a daily objective and didn't even know you did it. My next objective was to collect a bounty, and thankfully I had a friend in the session with me who I knew wouldn't mind to help me out with that, but I just hate to shoot my friends. I don't like to see their faces when I'm shooting them, so I stood back and sniped her from a distance. And she only had a $1,000 bounty, but hey, it's an extra $1,000, and there it says objective complete for collecting a bounty. I could have used the share cash option to either give her the money back or split it with her too. My last daily objective that was easy was to call Brooksy and get some bull shark testosterone. It does cost $500, but that's okay. I'm going to make $25,000 for completing these. Now I'm not going to get into a whole lot of the details. I'm sure you can find this in another video, but you can do all of the daily objectives every single day, and if you complete them successfully for 7 days in a row, you get a bonus. You get a weekly bonus for 4 weeks straight, and then you get a monthly bonus for having done 4 weeks straight. The money is great, but it's really complicated. There's some things that has to do with whether you're online at night and haven't completed your objectives when the new ones come in. Very, very complicated. I won't waste your time with it now. But if they're easy, go ahead and do them. Look at that, $25,000 and 3,000 RP. Not bad for only a few minutes work. There's a wide variety of customized cars that you can find on the road and steal them and take them to the custom shop to sell for good extra money. Some are harder to find than others, and in my opinion, none is easier to find than the Sentinel XS. I can just steal any old random coupe car I want. Really, any car will spawn these. I just have better luck when I use a two-door car. I'm rounding the corner here in front of Tequila La, heading towards Eclipse, and there is a blue Sentinel XS, all customized. And it'll be right here in front of the liquor hole. So I'm going to jump out and grab this one. They start spawning here as early as 11 p.m., which is 2300 on your phone, and they will spawn here until 4 a.m. You can see there on mine it's about 3:20. So you can just keep getting these. It's like fishing in a barrel. You can just circle around here either in front of or behind Tinsel and go back to the liquor hole, and you're sure to find one on nearly every single lap. The custom shop is willing to buy cars from you every 48 real-life minutes. However, there are limits to how many you can sell in a day. If you sell more than 2 cars inside of 2 hours, you'll get a warning about reaching your daily sell limit. And you can't sell more than 8 cars in a 30-hour real-life period. This blue Sentinel XS sells for $17,420. If there's discounts running in the custom shop and any of the items that are on discount happen to be one of the ones on your car, it can reduce the sale price a little bit. For example, this car has custom skirts and a custom spoiler. If either one of those items were discounted right now, I would get a little bit less than the $14,970 that you would get regularly for selling this car. Next up are the Sand King XLs. Now these are just about as easy to get as the Sentinel XS, and they're actually worth a little bit more. The only thing that makes these a little bit more challenging is, in my experience, you need at least a base Sand King truck, such as this one. You know, one right off the road that hasn't been customized. This one is a Sand King XL, but I think even a Sand King SWB will work. And you can use these to spawn the Sand King XLs. They'll be blue and yellow, and they will appear there at the RV sales lot right across from the custom shop at Sandy Shores. Now I just happened to see, as I pulled out with this gray one that I just stole, I saw this red one going by and I just thought it was pretty, so I'm going to steal it instead and use it for bait. It's just a nice looking truck. You can tell which one is the XL, just the plain ones right on the road. You can tell which one it is by those roll bars there in the back, because the regular SWB doesn't have that, I don't believe. So what I'm going to do now is, you can see I just left, I passed the custom shop and I left the RV sales lot, and I'm heading towards the west on Route 68. There's these 2 billboards on the left hand side. You can't see what they are because they're facing the other way. But I'm going to turn around past the second one, and you'll recognize this is the one that says global warming is baloney. I'm going to go off-road and go behind these billboards and behind these buildings and come back around the custom shop to go to the RV sales lot. They spawn there at the RV sales lot between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m., which is 1700 on your phone. And you'll see here as I round the corner, boom, there sits the yellow one. The yellow one's not worth quite as much as the blue one, but you can take it and use it for bait if you want to put it in a garage or put insurance on it, which is what I'll do. So now you can see I'm coming back here and I'm using this yellow one for bait. And I just passed the global warming is baloney sign again. And I'm still going right behind all the buildings. You can see my tire tracks from where I just did it. And here as I round the corner, now there sits the blue one. This one's worth a little bit more money, so I'm going to go grab it and sell it. You'll also find a lot of times, as I showed you earlier, you'll see a lot of Sand King XLs that aren't customized in this parking lot. There's one right behind me. And you can tell a big difference here. The yellow one does not have a topper on the back, and the blue one does. And as you notice there, I did just get a 1-star wanted level for stealing this one. So as I bring this in, it looks like some items are discounted, but they're not any of the modifications that this truck has. So I'll sell it for the full $18,495 for the blue Sand King XL. And now back at the baloney billboard again. This is my Sand King XL that I've kept, and I've painted it and modified it. to make it the way I like it, and I use it for bait when I'm Sand King hunting. You can see it's almost 1700, and as I round the corner, there's a yellow one. And forgive me, but I love to do this. It's just funny. Right before you hit the wall, you jump out, and she just lands face first. It's hilarious. Again, as I mentioned, there's another Sand King XL that's not modified. So you could just grab that and use it for bait. But it's better just to keep one of these custom ones on hand. So I'm going to take this yellow one and go see what it's worth. You can get a little damage. I don't know what it's from, if it's from the cactus or what. I always end up getting like $50 in damage or something when I drive through here. There's 55. So I'm going to repair the damage and go ahead and sell this one. Whoops, hit the wrong button. Let's sell this, and I'm going to get $17,525 for the yellow one. So you can see the Sand Kings are worth a little bit more than the Sentinels. They're just a tiny bit more work to get. Since these Sand Kings do sell for a little more and they're not too hard to come by, a great idea might be to get a small garage up here near Sandy Shores and store some of these that you can sell later throughout the day in between the other missions that you're doing, as long as you don't exceed the daily sale limit. Here's a couple of garages that might work. This first garage, this is only a 2-car garage, so it would be ideal if you either wanted to keep your bait Sand King in this garage and then one more, or you could put 2 that you can sell. Keep your bait one somewhere else. It's only a $28,000 garage. You'll pay for this when you sell 2 Sand Kings. It is a little awkward to get into because it kind of faces the opposite direction from how you drove up. But you can put 2 Sand Kings in it. So when you come up here, you steal one and sell it, and you could put 2 more in the garage, and then you won't have to come back up here and sell until after you've sold those, or excuse me, you won't have to come up here and steal anymore until you've sold those 2. Now, if you want to get even more serious about it, just down the road, a little bit further away, is this 6-car garage. So you can come up here and steal 5 or 6 Sand Kings, really in just a matter of a few minutes. You can get it done in one game day between 9 and 5 p.m. You can fill this garage up with 5 or 6 Sand Kings easy, and it's only $62,500. A great way to make extra money. Contact missions are a lot of fun, and you can make some really good money if you choose the right ones. Some missions require multiple players, but a lot of them can be done solo. You can select them from the Jobs menu under Rockstar Created and Missions if you want to do them on your own or if you want to invite specific people to join you. If you plan to do several of them in a row, it's best to start them from an invite-only or closed friend session because you'll spawn back in a whole lot faster than you will if you're spawning back into a random public room. If you're a new player and you don't have much experience in GTA yet, you may want to join other players who are already hosting these missions. You can watch how they do it and learn the tricks, plus you'll get paid well and you won't have to do all the work by yourself. You can select the quick job option to be put into any contact mission that's available, or you can go here to your phone and look for invites for specific missions that are looking for more players to join. There's a great wiki site that has a lot of information about the contact missions to help you find the ones that'll make you the most money. The URL is here at the top of the screen. This site is a little bit old, so it might not be perfectly accurate or complete, but it's mostly really good. It shows who the contact person is, the required number of players, the rank level required to access it, and about how much you can potentially earn for completing it. It also has some great info about how to make some more money per hour by completing the missions in under 15 minutes. For example, if a mission's maximum payout is $20,000 for 15 minutes, the most you could earn is about $80,000 in a little over an hour if you keep doing it over and over again at 15 minutes each. However, if you complete it in 5 minutes instead, you'll earn 10,000 each time, and you could do that 10 or 11 times in a little over an hour, so you could make 100 or 110 in a little over an hour. Most importantly, just keep trying a variety of contact missions until you find the ones you're best at and you'll enjoy doing. Next, we'll talk about races. You can find them under the same jobs menu as the contact missions. You go to Rockstar Created and then Races. And this one has land, bike, sea, and air races. There's also stunt races and transform races as well. I'm going to take you and show you one of my favorite land races. It's called Criminal Records. Now, if you have a friend who's willing to do some races with you, that's fantastic, because not only do you get paid and you get some RP, but when you get race wins, as long as you're racing against someone else, you earn more paint options in the custom shop. So it's really fantastic if you can find somebody who'll do these races with you and you all can swap wins and open up those paint colors. If you're not racing with a friend and just doing it on your own to make some extra money, you'll probably want to choose a longer race that pays better than this one, but we'll just look at this one as an example. And you may have noticed when I came in here, it gave me the option to choose the class of the car. Some races are locked to specific classes. This one I happen to choose Super. If there's supercars that you don't already own and you want to check them out, this is a great way to do it in a race. You can also drive your own custom cars that have already been modified, but if there's one you want to check out, this is a great way to do it. So I'm going to choose this RE7B because I like the way it handles and it's pretty fast. And we'll get started. So much like I said in the contact missions, just try a whole lot of different races, see which ones you enjoy, which ones have the class of car that you enjoy driving the most. You can go into the jobs menu on your phone and look for invitations from strangers, for people who are already doing these races and they're looking for more people to race with. But just bear in mind, if you're just getting started out in racing and you're not particularly fast yet, or you don't have cars of your own that have already been upgraded, chances are you're going to get beat a lot, and the lower you finish, the less you make on the race. So if you're in this to make money, you may want to either just do it on your own or with people you know to get started. And as you'll see here, this race was only about 30 seconds long. Didn't take very long to get it set up. I only got paid $765, but I got 215 RP for it. Not bad, I guess, for about 2 minutes work. And remember, you'll get another 50 RP for any contact mission or job that you do that you either like or dislike there at the bottom of the screen when you're done. So don't forget to do that. But races are a good way to make some money, have a little fun, and check out some cool cars on the way. The heists in GTA can be a great way to make money under the right conditions. Some heists pay more than others, and some take much longer to complete and have higher expenses. None of the heists can be completed by a solo player. The Doomsday heists can be done with as few as 2 players, but truth be told, it's a lot more difficult with just 2 players and can take a lot longer to complete. The Doomsday heists only have normal and hard difficulty settings that can be selected for the finales, so there's no lower paying easy option you can try if you're just getting started with them. There are prep missions that must be completed in public sessions, so you'll have more enemies to contend with for those. The setups and finales can be launched from invite-only or closed friend sessions. The payouts increase from Act 1 to Act 2 and finally to Act 3, but so does the difficulty and the time it takes to complete them. To host any of the Doomsday heists, you must own a facility. Now, prior to the Doomsday heist, there were 5 original heists. These all offer easy, normal, and hard difficulty levels. The Fleeca job only requires 2 players. The payout's low in comparison to the other heists, but so is the level of effort. It's a quick heist and requires no armor, very little ammo, and not much in the way of special skills, so it's a great heist for a newer player. The Prison Break, the Humane Labs Raid, and Series A funding heists all require 4 players. They definitely require some good skills, plenty of good weapons and lots of ammo, as well as lots of armor to get through these, so they're not well suited for inexperienced or low-ranked players. The Pacific Standard heist has the best payout of all of the original heists, and it also requires 4 players, preferably with higher rank and experience. You can host any of these heists from the heist room in your high-end apartment. You must host them in order the first time you do them, but then you can go back and host any heist you want once you've completed all of them as the host. Invitations from other players to join heists can be found in the Jobs menu on your phone. Sometimes you might get lucky and find a random invite to a heist finale, and you won't even have to complete the setups to get the big finale payout. That doesn't happen all that often, though. Generally speaking, a crew will stay together to complete an entire heist through setups and the finale. Now, sometimes in those random invites that come from other players, you'll find people who are just goofing off and having a good time, and if you're really serious about making money quickly, that would be a waste of your time. You might get lucky and find good players who just need one more person to start a heist, but you're certainly better off doing heists with a familiar crew of players. Once you've played the heist together with the same crew a few times, you'll really get good at them and you can finish them faster and spend a lot less in armor and ammo. As with everything else in GTA, keep trying all the different heists until you find the ones you're really good at and you enjoy doing them. Those will be the ones you should repeat when you want to earn some big bucks on a heist. Also be sure to take advantage of heists that have a double bonus payout on occasion. That's an opportunity that's just too good to pass up. Last but certainly not least, VIP work is by far the best money-making opportunity for newer players, and it comes with tons of RP points too to help you rank up. You used to need $1 million to register as a VIP, but now it only requires just having $50,000. You register as a VIP in the interaction menu under SecuroServe. You'll notice here that I only have the option to register as a CEO. Once you've bought an executive office and become a CEO, you can do everything that a VIP can and much, much more. So there's no need to go back to being just a VIP. As a VIP, you don't own an executive office yet, so you don't have an established organization name. You'll have to enter your organization name every time you register as a VIP. There used to be a time limit for how long you could remain registered as a VIP, and there was a long cooldown time before you could register again. But I believe those constraints have now been removed. I'd still recommend you do your best to save your money and buy an executive office as soon as you can, so you can greatly expand your criminal enterprise with some very profitable business opportunities. VIP work can take you potentially all over the map. When you're a new player with very little money, you don't own a helicopter yet, and probably no fast cars. Once you've passed rank 5, helicopters will spawn at locations all over the map, like police stations, hospitals, airports, and this extreme sightseeing helicopter rental. You may want to borrow a helicopter to do these VIP work missions. You can drive to all of these, but they're timed missions, so you might want the option of having a helicopter to get there faster. There's many different types of VIP work missions. Some require you to own a special vehicle to participate in them, and if you don't own the vehicle, much like I don't own the Phantom Wedge, those missions will be grayed out. I do own the Ruiner 2000, so I could do the fully loaded mission. Some of these also require that you have associates in your organization to do them, or perhaps to have rivals to compete against. But as we come down this list a little bit to Headhunter, you'll see there are 4 VIP work missions. that can be done solo with no rivals in your session and no associates in your organization, and you don't need a special vehicle to do them. These 4 include Headhunter and Hostile Takeover, Asset Recovery, and Sightseer. I'm not going to lie to you. Asset recovery is really difficult. You might not want to do that one by yourself, especially if you're a new player. Wait until you got some help from a friend. Headhunter and Hostile Takeover are pretty challenging, but they can be done. Now, Sightseer is a total breeze. I'm going to be showing you that one in this video. You can do all of these in a public session, but other players will probably try to prevent you from completing these missions. There's also Haulage, Air Freight, Executive Deathmatch, Executive Search, and Piracy Prevention that all require you to have a rival in the session. And Piracy Prevention requires you to own a very expensive yacht to do that one. So for now, let's take a look at Sightseer. It's by far, Sightseer and Executive Search are by far the easiest of the VIP work missions. So after you click Start, you'll see you've got a 15-minute timer down at the bottom, and you're going to need to pick up 3 packages somewhere on the map. You open your phone and go to the little app in the bottom right, and it's going to give you 3 puzzles to pick up the 3 packages. It's always going to be the same 3 puzzles, but the words and the numbers will be different, and they might be in a different order. This one's pretty far away. You can see the little green arrow on the map there, so I'm just going to skip ahead. And it took me, well over a minute, about a minute and a half just to fly here. So it would have taken much longer had I driven in a car. But there's my briefcase, and now you can see up on the upper left there, if I were in a public session right now, all the other players would be alerted that I'm doing Sightseer, and they would come and try to prevent me from picking up the rest of the packages. This one's pretty easy. You just have to catch it in the little gap in the middle there. And I'm going to show you here at the end what happens if you miss one. It sets you back a bar every time you make a mistake. So if I click it there in the wrong place, there you can see it put me back 1. And now that this one's finished, again I'm going to skip ahead and fly to the next location to pick up the package. Took me about 45 seconds to fly from the vineyard over here. And it would have been quite a bit longer had I been driving. These are attainable if you're driving. It just takes longer. So you, like I said, if you want to make it a little bit quicker, go grab a helicopter. And now I have 1 more package left and 1 more puzzle to do. And this one's not too bad. Sometimes it can be a little bit challenging to find the 4 numbers you want. I got lucky, and that 00 is pretty easy to spot. Now, another important thing to remember about all this VIP work, some of them only pay $20,000 maximum, and others pay $25,000 maximum. Piracy Prevention pays $30,000 maximum. This one pays $25,000, and it pays that much if at the VIP work end little timer down there, it has to be at least under 5 minutes left. The longer you take to do these, the more they pay. If it's under 5 minutes, I'll get the maximum $25,000. But if I just want to move on and do something else, I can finish it a little early, and I still almost get the whole payout. I got $22,500, and I finished it about, 4 minutes early, 4.5 minutes earlier. And I still got almost the whole $25,000. I got $2,500 in RP, which is not a whole lot when I've got a rank over 900, but it's fantastic when you're a new player. The maximum RP would have been 3,000 RP. Now you can see that I just completed this one. I can't do another one yet. There's a cool-off period. I got to wait at least 5 minutes to start one of these other ones. I have to wait at least 10 minutes to do Sightseer again. Now that's not always going to be the case. There are some combinations of VIP work that you could do one and then immediately go do another one. You'll get the hang of that in time. You'll start to recognize which ones you can do back to back. The next one we're going to do is executive search. This one does require that you have a friend in the room or an enemy of some sort in the session to complete it. Because, I mean, the whole point of it is that other executives are going to search for you, and if there's nobody else in the room, who's going to search? So you can't do it. It gives you a little circle. You can see that big pink circle on the map. And all I have to do is stay in that area and not let somebody else find me. If somebody else finds me and kills me, it's over. So you just stay in here and you stay hidden. Now, if you're doing that in a public session, this can be very, very hard. If you stay moving, they can't see you on the map, but of course they can see you they're in the same vicinity that you are. So it's really, really tough to do this if you're in a public session with strangers. But now here is the big money-making tip. If you have a friend who plays GTA, say there's going to be a day that you're just going to be hanging out at home and doing things around your house, you know, mowing the yard, doing laundry, whatever. If you can have somebody meet you in an invite-only session or a closed friend session, the two of you can swap back and forth doing VIP work all day, and it's so easy and makes such great money. If you're doing executive search, you can just show up to the dot and sit there and do nothing. You can put a rubber band on your controller and walk away. You can come back 20 minutes later and do another one, and you'll get paid $25,000 for doing that and make 3,000 RP for doing that. Your friend, once you've done one and it takes 10 minutes, then it's your friend's turn. They can do one. You come back after 20 minutes and do another one. They come back after 20 minutes and do another one. You can swap back and forth all day and spend literally just a couple of minutes at your controller doing this. Now you can also see in executive search, I'm having a little fun here, because you're basically, you have immunity when you're doing executive search. If you're staying in your little zone there, you can blow things up, you can shoot people, you can beat them up and take their money, you can do absolutely anything you want and no cops are going to come. That's kind of fun when you're doing executive search. Of course, I'm wasting a little ammo here, which I wouldn't recommend for a new player, but I'm just showing you how much fun you can have, because, you know, how cool is that? But I'm going to go ahead and jump in my helicopter and take it up here to the spot that I usually sit in and just leave my controller and come back. There's one more important thing, though, to remember, especially about executive search. As you know, there are several big red circles where you can start gang attacks in this game. In this case in particular, there's one, it's just a tiny bit south from here. So if I had gone down like to the next block and left my character there, when the VIP work is over, if it was the right time of day, I'd be sitting right in the middle of a gang attack. And if I wasn't there, they'd come after me and kill me numerous times and no telling where I'd end up. So just try to pay attention to, as you're starting to learn where the gang attacks are, those big red circles. Don't park your character there and leave it during an executive search. Make sure you stay out of those little circles. You'll learn those in time. But as with everything else, try all the different VIP works that you have the ability to do and see which ones you enjoy the most. You can make a ton of money and a ton of RP, and VIP work can be so relaxing, especially like with Sightseer, because you're just flying or driving through beautiful scenery and going and picking up a package. I mean, how easy is that? And this one is also a great stress reliever because you can have a blast and not get in any kind of trouble when you're doing executive search. As a new player, you could use this opportunity to build some of your strength and stealth skills, maybe even some of your shooting while you're doing executive search, because then cops aren't going to come after you anyway, so why not? I'm going to skip ahead a little bit now to save some time. And I neglected to mention earlier, only one player at a time in a session can be doing VIP work, which is another really good reason not to do it in a public room, because other players may be doing it and then you lose the opportunity. So there you can see I got $25,000, I got 3,000 RP, and all for just coming to a little circle and sitting there. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've learned a lot from this new player money making tips video. A like for the video and a subscription to my channel will be greatly appreciated. If you have any questions or need any advice, drop me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks a bunch.